What
are you guys doing? What's going on here?
We're just waiting for old Aaron to log in.
Here, I thought I was
Waiting
late.
on Aaron.
Yeah.
Waiting on Aaron.
What are you painting?
Teepees.
Peepees?
Yeah.
I didn't enunciate that a little better.
Teepees.
Oh.
With the T.
Teepees.
Teepees. Oh, man. Where you at right now?
In my apartment or townhouse in Billings.
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 Billings. Anybody ever say that anymore?
Billings?
Like that? Billings.
In your pied a terre.
In my pied a terre in Billings.
I don't know. I think some of them still do. I'll go to Billings, go shop Billings, and go to mall and shop at Billings. Should ask Aaron. He probably still says it.
Yeah, I bet. I'm gonna ask him right when he comes on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask him to say it.
Yeah,
without prompting. He's gonna say, "Oh, what Billings?"
Yeah,
he's not gonna do it. He's got to be around a bunch of crows. Then he'll switch. He'll code switch.
True. That's always. Hey, it happens. That's what we all do.
I know, man.
I don't speak Belknap unless I'm around Belknap.
yeah. Nobody else gets it.
Nobody else gets it, and no one else knows how to speak it.
Everyone gets offended.
Yeah.
Everyone gets offended.
God, those guys are just rude. Here, that's just the way it goes, you know.
Yeah. Hey, you know how to speak the lingo, and if you don't, then shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. Oh. Yeah. It's we've been holed up in our house all day.
Why?
Just recovering from the week.
From last week.
Yeah, we are hard workers, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I don't hey, let it out.
I understand why people get
let it out.
I don't understand why I always got to explain myself about how hard I work.
Just let it out. Come on. This is a safe place, safe space.
Everybody's always asking me, "How you doing? How you doing?" I'm doing horrible, and I work hard. Okay.
Just get off my back.
I got a bunch of kids, and I got to feed them, and everybody needs me for something, and I'm tired of asking. I'm tired of being asked how I am.
How are you then? Really? Really? Come on. We're getting to the core of it. Come on.
Yeah, we're just peeling off.
Yeah, we are.
Outer shell.
You have to remember, I was a counselor at one time. That was just a circle.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. You might lose your license. You better not say that.
Oh, I shouldn't even get my license.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, no. You're like a back alley counselor. Hey, come back here.
Yeah,
come back here. I'm gonna free you from the chains of addiction.
Just need let me see, brain tanned hide. Come on, man.
Roll up in a van with the couch. Hey, get in.
Yeah. Like some of those those Asians that do massage therapy, I don't know if they even have licenses.
Do you need a license to be a massage therapist?
I don't know. In Montana, I'm not sure.
Because it sounded like you knew. Sound like you had some advanced knowledge.
I'm just guessing because you don't have to you don't have to have license to life coach.
Oh, there you go.
That was a semi-confident. Oh, just guessing.
Yeah,
that's the exit route for everything.
It is. You know,
I was just guessing.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, Aaron.
It's Kasey Nicholson.
Oh, it's Aaron. What's up, bruh?
Well, when he said Kasey, I was like,
Kasey Means?
Kasey.
who the hell's Kasey? I thought it was some woke person from BC.
Oh.
Some
Sorry, I
woke
gotta-
person.
What, man?
Hey, Aaron,
Yo,
where you going? Was you gonna get up?
no, I'm gonna eat. I gotta eat.
Ah, cripes. Hey, I want you to do something for me.
Yeah,
I want you to say Billings.
Billings.
Yeah, see,
See? Billings.
Billings.
You didn't say G.
No, he said it absolutely like
He did it without
What?
the G.
like a full blown
or the
American.
C.
Yeah,
Billings.
What are you
But not
guys
G.
talking about?
we're talking about you.
What did I do?
We're asking Kasey where he was at, and he didn't do a full code switch when he said where he was at because he's kind of in what do they call it in academics? Aaron knows what it's called. He's in the
What?
diaspora. what do they call it?
Diaspora.
Diaspora. Yeah. Sounds like a fungus, right? Anyway,
What? Yeah,
Yeah, I
that don't
know.
sound right.
I know it doesn't sound right. So he didn't
Sure.
code switch to his normal
His Daspero.
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 Destro.
Jaspero.
His assy bro.
Hey, I want you before you get carried away. And, let's give Aaron a chance to. What are you eating first? What are you eating?
Yeah, what are you eating?
Let's
Oh,
get
Miranda
there.
brought me Famous Dave's.
Oh, decolonizing barbecue.
Indigenize the Q, man.
Indigenizing barbecue. Yeah, I'm gonna I want you to listen to something. Okay.
Yeah, do it.
Ooh,
I want you to listen to something here.
Me?
All of us.
All
Oh.
of you, I want you to pay attention. I want you to act right and listen. This is a song shared to me.
Children are our future. Tonight.
Shared to me through many generation of tape recorders.
yeah.
No, it's not that special, but check it out. Can you hear it?
Good dancing, good singing.
We just got into it. Oh, this is the song.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nothing bigger.
Huh? I don't know if you can see that tape.
yep.
You see it?
Yeah.
You see the year? Yeah, Fort Belknap.
Stop talking.
1977.
Stop
July.
talking.
Huh? Stop talking.
That's a good one,
Listen.
folks. A good one. Let's everybody dance. Don't ever wait for me to start dancing. Everybody dance.
Yep.
They got the song now.
They all got it now. Yeah. Oh yeah. Raise it up. Everybody raise it up. Oh yeah, there you go.
Everybody dance.
Under forever.
There you go, man. How do you like
I
that?
like this one.
How
I
do
like
you
this one.
Huh? What? How do you like that?
People don't make songs like that no more.
No,
Nope.
they don't, man. Man,
That's 2 weeks in a row, Shandin, with bangers, man.
Oh, I
The one from
know.
this episode was good too.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, Fort Belknap, 1977. That's from your neck of the woods there, Kasey. Yeah.
Belknap.
Do you recognize who that was? I don't know who it is, but
Could either be Hayes or there's a couple. There's a Bobby.
Bobtail or something.
No, Iron Child. No,
Iron
Iron. What's that one? They were, Bobby Ironmaker sang with.
I don't know.
It was
Kind of out of region.
one of the older songs or older drum groups. One of the first drum groups that came out of there. God, that's what it sounds like, anyways.
I believe it. Hey, I'm gonna
Getting my mind going here now.
I'm gonna do something. Okay. We're gonna finish this by the end of this recording, but it's gonna require you all to keep this going, okay? You ready? You ready? Just say yeah. Somebody say yeah.
We're ready.
Here
We're
we
ready.
go.
Okay. You're gonna keep this going. Not right now, but you're gonna think about it. Okay. So a medicine man, a shaman, and a healer. They walk into a bar. Did you get that? Okay. I mean, it's almost funny as it is, right? A shaman, a medicine man, and a healer walk into a bar. And then they start arguing about who's the best at what they do. Got it? Okay. Then you're gonna finish that. Not right now, but I got a different question. And this one's I don't know about it. And I'm curious about what you think. What all three of you think about this. Because I'm on the fence about it. So there's this and I don't know if it's a stereotype. I don't know if it's a I don't know how real it is, but apparently Indians laugh at everything. And we have this apparently a unique sense of humor that is unique to Native people. Furthermore, that unique humor is and that, well, what we're known for, we use it as a way to heal and or hide our trauma. You heard that before, right? You heard that,
Yeah.
right, Aaron?
Heard it.
Heard it? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that? I don't know.
I did it.
You did it? You did what?
I've done it. I've used humor to hide my trauma. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it tonight.
I'm gonna do it tonight.
I've never not done it.
I've never not done it.
You've never done. Okay.
Mm.
So this is the question that I have then. Because it sounds like you all believe that, right? Yeah. Okay.
Good point. Yeah.
Well, Kasey's thinking about it. He's thinking, okay, should I believe it or should I not? I mean, do you believe it? You probably said it before, right? You probably said it before to people. We laugh because it's the medicine we use to heal ourselves. from the wrongs of the past. Yeah.
Well, not in those exact words. Sure.
Okay. Not in those
I
words.
was like, wow.
Wow, yeah, that was boring. Not gonna make it.
I think Kasey's academic background could shed some light on some of this.
Well, this is what I'm wondering then. So then let's
I want to hear from. I have nothing to say.
Well, I want to rewind the clock a bit. So let's go back 1,000 years. Were we still like that, or were we really boring then because there wasn't the same amount of trauma? Were we pretty boring 1,000 years ago? Not funny.
I like
And that's way too hypothetical. But I'm
Okay.
going to say that I imagine there was some level of sense of humor in Native people.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you see one of your fellow warriors fall off a horse or trying to hunt a buffalo and they freaking go head over heels in front of a woman that they're trying to impress,
Yeah.
you know it's going to be told in the camps. You know, after the deeds are done, you know they're gonna talk and they're like, oh man, I know they're gonna because I think honestly, I think a lot of the laughter and the storytelling, all that stuff is, I honestly do really think, obviously genetically, just in like, and not even like, you know, you could go tribalistically or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's just a natural way of, I think, especially us Native people, no matter what region you're in, that they share that humor within stories, and and through, I guess, trauma as well too.
Okay.
I just think it's just inherently within epigenetically, if you want to go that route.
Whoa.
Here we go.
Here we go. Epigenetic. Okay. How do you spell that?
I gotta look this up.
I gotta look that one up. Yeah.
Say it again, Kasey.
Yeah,
Huh?
say it again. Say it again.
Epigenetics. Epigenetically.
Ooh.
Pretty much meaning that things are passed down
through our
the DNA. So
that one was free of charge, guys.
oftentimes associated with the passing down of trauma, right? I heard that one quite a bit, you know.
But and that's the thing, you know, I'm a big advocate of, you know, all the trauma stuff. Okay, cool. There's trauma. Yeah. But also there's the other side of that too. Like the healing is also passed down as well.
Sure.
Or the funny stuff or the crazy stuff that also is passed down. But a lot of people get so focused on the trauma part of it. I'm like, well, there's the other part too. Like our genetics hold a lot of stuff within our, you know, within us. There's other things that get passed on beyond trauma, you know. So
yeah.
You're right. I think Kasey's right. Like we get stuck in that, huh?
We do.
And you see it a lot. And actually, in fact, it seems like it's almost encouraged to stay stuck in that.
Yeah.
Stuck in the trauma?
Well,
I guess in that part of it, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was bringing it up, is because oftentimes you see Native humor distinctly attached to trauma. When, I don't know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't think it always is. I think we just like to laugh and have fun, you know. I don't think it's because of the genocide or whatever you want to call it, the things that happen. Yeah, maybe people love to laugh, right? Some people would even say like the collective laugh of a whole entire race can reveal the secret quantities or qualities.
We are laughing. We are laughing now.
I'm gonna go ahead and leave the podcast now. I'm just getting out of.
I was trying to get to something here. Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I don't know. You could even say that maybe humor, even the humor and the laughter, is connected to even deeper constructs than just the trauma, such as spirituality or the understanding of the unknown. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think, again, well, Well, my
Okay.
brain, my mind was going every which way.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, if you want to break it down and boil it down, I mean, energy. It's straight. I mean, this is my opinion. Energy.
Yeah.
And that laughter, that energy that comes with that laughter,
Yeah.
is contagious. You can feel it. You can feel laughter.
Yeah.
But how that person is sending the laughter versus the person receiving it, obviously that goes into a whole nother construct of, trauma, or being able, have they been teased, all those other kind of things. But I think, keep it simple. I think that the energy of that laughter is like, it's crazy. It's well, cliche, but it's powerful. I really do. It's man, if you like, you guys, like when you guys laugh, like all three of y'all, we all start laughing, we could get into some gut busting, and no one has to say nothing. Like we just feed off each other's laughs, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like people are like, oh, they're traumatized. They must have needed that healing. That's why they're laughing so much. They needed that healing. No, we're just laughing because we're freaking some goofy people. Like we love to laugh. Yeah. Like, why does it got to be complicated? Why does it got to be so?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So this is the thing. So I think it's fair to say that we don't laugh just because we're hurting. We laugh because it's just a human quality to I don't know, to just to joke around and have a good time, right? Well, apparently there's I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what I want to ask all of you here. Could you classify, like, put the humor into different categories that make sense that natives use? Could you classify it? Like this kind of native humor is all this, like one thing, like teasing, Teasing is a type of humor, right? Where you're directing it at somebody and you're making everybody laugh. And then maybe there's another type of humor where you're sort of telling a story, and in that story there's funny parts. And I'm wondering if there's categories like that you see in your experience.
Yeah. Yes. That's your question. Yes.
Well, what are they, man? What are they? That's what I want to know.
You named two already, I would say. You named two.
Come on. Okay, yeah, I named two. Yeah.
And then there's one where the discomfort, that's another one.
Discomfort.
Like the uneasiness of things, where you get the nervous laughter. Here's a story really quick of a category.
Okay.
One of my relatives was getting their butt whipped by their dad.
Getting spanked.
And I got scared. Like, holy, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But I focused on my relative's face while they were getting spanked. And then I started laughing.
Is joking about like diabetes, is that kind of the same kind of thing?
Survival, man.
Well, I think it's natural for any people to joke about their surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Their environment, regardless of what's going on. So that means if it's anything, we'll joke. But I do think that the teasing part of humor is probably like a huge part of like native.
That seems like it, ain't it?
It seems like laughter at the expense of somebody else seems to be a big part of even the way we like self-govern,
Yeah. I think you're right. Some people even think that like you could even use native humor as sort of like a criteria to know like where people are from.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if they're from or sort of what their background is, right? Like, because if you mercifully tease somebody and they can't take it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could sort of tell like what their upbringing was, in a particular way. And I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
Yeah.
To a degree, I think
To a
that to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't want to assume that. I would say not everybody that I grew up with has the same type of humor I do,
Yeah.
but I would say every single person I grew up with
Yeah.
knows how to tease.
Oh yeah.
They don't all have like maybe, let's just say for the sake of conversation, there's
Yeah.
4 types of humor. That's just a made up number.
Okay.
And
4 times.
teasing is
It's for the
one
4
of them.
directions.
For the 4 directions. for the 4 humors, the sacred 4 humors.
The 4 sacred humors. Yeah. Yeah. We'll come up with more, so then we'll make it 7.
7, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say most native people in our like area, region, they don't have all 4, but every one of them is going to have some level of the teasing.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't think I've ever met a native person that doesn't know how to tease a little bit. I've met a lot of native people that don't know how to get teased, though.
Oh yeah, they get hurt real bad. They try to fight you. They just leave.
And that's all. So I think maybe we're native. A lot of us are like expert trollers, you know, because that's really what it is. Like you'll troll somebody, and so like you smell blood, and then you just like you go
pounce.
in, you know.
Yeah, you
go
pounce.
in.
Yeah, and yeah.
Maybe that's wrong. Kasey's shaking his head at me like,
what? No, we're about healing.
Shut up.
About healing.
You talking 4 sacred
Let it out.
things.
Let it out, Aaron. Let it out.
No, there's even so there was I was reading this brief article about native humor just to see what was out there in the literature, you know, academic literature, and one researcher suggested that native humor is also used as a means of testing for anyone whose identity as a native person is questionable or unknown. Did you ever do that? Somebody?
No.
I mean, that seems wrong, right? Like, I'm going to find out if this
humor
person's
to test to see if I wanted to hang out with somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody was cool.
Regardless if they're a native or not, like you kind of like test your boundaries and you're like, wow, this person seems pretty serious, like a serious person. But it's situational.
Yeah.
And you and Kasey know this. Like,
oh, go ahead.
Like, say you go to a powwow and you're gonna sing all weekend with a drum group. In all honesty, you don't want to sit at a drum with ultra serious people.
No,
like because you're stuck there, right, for 6, 7, 8 hours.
Oh yeah.
So, but
angry.
Those type of people might be cool in a different situation. But for me, powwow singing is a recreation, so I want to enjoy myself. I want to laugh. I want to tease. I want to hear good stories. So I don't want to see really rigid people and
I think there's one part of it too, like I think sometimes some natives will push that not to test necessarily, but to see how genuine that person is that their conversation. Like kind of what Aaron was saying, like you're gonna surround yourself with some, singing bros.
Yeah.
You want to kind of figure out like, hey, like how genuine are these guys? Like how real, how authentic.
Yeah.
I think authentic people, in my opinion, some authentic people are really able to let loose and laugh and tease and joke, and enjoy. And I think that's one of the biggest thing is enjoy the moment, that life or whatever it is. And just, and I think that's part of that testing thing is like, how genuine are you? Are you able to laugh at yourself? Are you able to laugh with us, or whatever? So that, would be another part.
I agree.
Can you laugh at a funeral?
If you can laugh at a funeral.
Yes, you can laugh at a funeral.
It's true.
It is true. It is true. So I think that's somewhat of a misapplication of native humor that I find in the literature now. And there was this other thing. This other thing. Oh wait, let me get to the second. Did you guys think about remember the medicine man, the shaman, and the healer? They walk into the bar and they start
I
arguing.
completely forgot about it.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, medicine man, shaman, and the healer walk into a bar. They get an argument, right? So eventually they say, okay, this is it. We just have to prove who's the best at what we do. So what we're gonna do, this they all agree. We're gonna go into the woods. We're all gonna go into the woods in different directions, and we'll see who can get a mountain lion for a helper. So they all go off. Go find a mountain lion for a helper. Now you're gonna finish this, but not right now. Because I'm gonna read you some jokes. And I want to get your rating on these jokes, okay? This is this is straight from the academic literature, okay? And I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? So these are apparently one-liners that are employed by Native people, called razzing.
Little
razzle dazzle. Yeah.
Razzle dazzle.
And part of the apparently part of the nature of teasing and razzing is to keep yourself humble among the group. I don't know about that. I don't know. Okay.
So humble.
Here we go.
I'm more humble.
I'm more humble.
I'm the most humble.
Okay. So a Native artist was asked one day why Indians was asked one day on why Indians were the first ones on the continent. And he replied, "We had reservations." It gets worse. It gets worse. Okay.
Keep going.
I kind of almost passed out. Okay. What? Here's another one. Are you a full-blooded Indian? The reply, no, I'm a pint low. I just came from the blood bank.
The heck?
So stupid.
Dude,
Okay. No,
why are you laughing?
because it's so stupid.
God.
Okay, one more. Okay. Here we go. You could probably guess the answer. Are you ready? Do Indians have psychic powers? Do you know the answer? Do you know? Aaron's losing it. I knew the reply. I knew you were going to ask me that. I just knew it.
What are you doing, dude?
I don't know.
Where are you
jokes.
finding me?
There's not. I know.
He's telling jokes. Let him be. He's bombing. Let him go.
Yeah, let him bomb. Let the bomb happen naturally.
Yeah. Don't refuse the bomb. Keep going.
I'm just trying to give you a taste
Of
what's written about Native humor.
Let's another one.
What?
Okay, you want another one? Okay.
Here, another one.
and then
So-
wait. So
what-
the things that are
So-
they're written by Native humor and are these like this is a scholarly written,
Yeah.
peer reviewed, all that jazz?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. This should be eye-opening to you. This should be upsetting to you. Okay. How do you insult an Indian? This is bad. This is a bad one. Call him or her a Columbus lover.
Hmm.
No.
No. You want to hear more?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kinda do too.
You got me intrigued by these.
Well, okay, here we go. This is peer-reviewed research, man. This is what's getting pumped out, and people are reading and quoting and citing about us. Okay, what's the difference between praying in church and praying at a casino? When you could have what? At a casino, you really mean it.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. That's so weird.
That is weird. Okay. So here's the problem. Here's the problem. I just walked you through some serious misconceptions about Native humor in the literature that young, impressionable Native scholars are reading, that non-Native people are reading, and it doesn't quite hit the mark, man. It doesn't quite hit the mark, and I want to try to help it hit the mark. So I'm curious. Then I don't know how I could go about and write an academic article and do a better job. I don't know if I could do that. So I don't know. But what I'm curious, what
I was gonna say, because humor is kind of like timestamps too. Like
it is.
What was funny to like our dad and our grandparents is different to us. I mean, obviously there's overlap, but I imagine if you're gonna do an academic study on jokes, that's probably where you'll run into that. But if you're doing a study on humor, that there's way more overlap in that. I would think. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems hard to commit.
Kasey, you gotta jump in, buddy. I mean, come on, bro.
It seems hard to commit that, like the real organic nature of humor in written words. Salisha was reading a book recently. What was it called? Remember that book?
No,
I can't remember what it was called, but it started out kind of okay, like it was about Native humor, but then it went off the rails quickly, and it started to just get like carried away, man. Kind of like what I was reading. The jokes were not funny.
I just realized you're doing this because Kasey's a comedian.
Is he a comedian? He hasn't made us laugh yet. No,
I just realized this.
Oh, you just realized it just now. Yeah, so Kasey
just now, because in my mind, I've known Kasey a while, so I know him. I still see him as like a
counselor,
a psychologist, right? Kind of. What are you? What were you?
A counselor.
Yeah, a counselor. Yeah,
counselor.
We were talking.
So
about
I kind of see him as a counselor, and a grass dancer,
Indigenous mental health team.
Yeah.
I mean, I know him. Obviously, I know him as a comedian, but like in my mind, you know how you first impression still kind of. I just realized you're doing it. That's cliche.
Well, I mean, all of us. Well, all of us
tell jokes.
Wait.
Make me laugh, Kasey.
Step back. No.
What?
I mean, all of us here can agree that we don't think Kasey's that funny.
What?
Let's start there. No,
it's true. It's true.
So we're trying to get over that.
Let's just clear that out of there.
Clear it all out of there. Yeah. Clear it all out, because Kasey can't be funny. Just in how we're doing it right now, he can't be. He just can't be. We have to start talking about like what is that? What was that one thing that we did that time? Places that are not good to smudge. Remember that?
Oh my God.
Places that you ought not to smudge. And then we all kind of laugh around and say something. Chime in. But it's, if you try to set it up, it just don't work. Like, okay, Kasey, in this next segment, we're going to talk about smudging and places where it's inappropriate. Go.
I think.
Okay.
Because Kasey's been doing stand up for a while now.
Yeah, he's pro.
I think if you gave him a topic, he could find something funny about it.
Okay.
But I also think we can't do what he does.
No, we can't.
No.
In order to be a decent stand up, you have to bomb a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I could do that.
That self-esteem has to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people probably come up to you, Kasey, and they're like, I got a joke for you. Or blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
yeah, I was trying to do that.
I know for a fact I couldn't.
Well, and that's what I was trying to do. And I think that's the thing is the vulnerability of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like being able to formulate some words based off of, some people are just like chill. They do one-liners and all that. Some are acting out their stories, or they're jokes.
Yeah.
But to the vulnerability of it, I think it's something that is scary for some people. But the thing I don't get is there's some freaking hilarious people. All three of y'all are hilarious. And I'd be like, man, you should tell that on stage. You know what I mean? And it's just like, oh no, like, but it's funny. Like that would totally get a laugh. But when people go on stage, they reformat it because of their uncomfortableness, the crowd looking at them, the judging.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, I think is just the vulnerability and self-esteem. Sure, you guys all got pretty good high self-esteem, so I wouldn't really equate it to that. I think the vulnerability of it is just you're up there by yourself. You don't have, like I say all the time, you don't have that band, you don't have a drum, you don't have a guitar to bail you out. Like when you bomb. That's all on you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Because it's a pretty honest engagement. You say something funny and people laugh. If people don't laugh, it's not funny to them.
And you're telling you're telling jokes in front of people you don't even know. They don't even seen you before. They don't even know your style.
Yeah.
Your setup, your punchline. They don't know nothing about you. Like, and that's the crazy thing. And you go up there and tell the one-liner jokes and the casino jokes and all that. But you could tell those jokes, honestly. Like you could tell those one-liner jokes, but I think it really comes down to like the delivery of it, I mean, Shandin was kind of monotone just saying it, but I mean, I'm sure if he set it up in a different way, it'd be probably funnier, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if those jokes.
There's a couple that aren't going to be funny. No matter
no matter
I think they're funny in the sense that making fun of the joke.
Yeah.
It can be funny.
The thing that was funny about it was him laughing at the joke.
Yeah. Knowing it was a bad joke, I think was funny. But I think the difference between a stand-up and native humor, because a lot of native people are funny, but they're not stand-ups, and they couldn't be. The difference is because a lot of our humor is predicated on the audience knowing our environment, even references to people. Like you're talking about somebody that everybody knows, or like why that person's silly. Every res has those people that everybody knows, and so that's like you don't have to like set all that up.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Oh, go ahead, keep going.
No, that would be tough.
Yeah,
that'd be hard to do. So
that's kind of like
just because you're funny, you can be a stand-up.
Yeah, that's like the genesis of the native anti. I think that's where that kind of come from. This sort of archetype of what
I'm like over that stuff. That's weird. I've always thought that was weird.
I know. Yes, it is weird.
Like the anti stuff. I've never
auntie
been
and
into
uncle.
That.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah. I mean, in a certain way, it's funny, but again, it's situational, right? Like
timing's everything.
Yeah.
So, Kasey, I have a question for you. How long do you think? And because you're going on almost 20 years now, right? 15 years, 16 years?
Yeah. I see 2000. So comedy 2010. So almost 15 years. But full time in 2014. Yeah.
So full time 10 years.
2.
Remainder 3.
Cross multiply. Divide and solve for X. No, how long did it take before you really felt like you started finding your own thing? Because I think every comedian probably goes through stages, right? Like, you hit the low-hanging fruit stuff at the beginning.
Yeah, Google best native jokes.
2000, I would say 2017 is when I think I started, because I started doing comedy not only in front of natives, I started doing comedy actually in front of a diverse crowd. And when I was making them laugh, and when I was getting in different comedy competitions, that's when I felt like I was catching a groove. Like, okay, this is mine. This is no one else I feel had a same comedy routine that I did.
So it took roughly 7 years. Huh?
Yeah.
And from the stuff I've seen with comedians, I'm not a comedian, but the stuff I've seen, it seems about like 5, 6, 7 years before people start figuring it out.
Oh yeah, some people say it's about 5 years. I would say mine was a little, and I'm not saying that it was prolonged because I wasn't doing comedy all the time since 2010. Like I'd have 1 or 2, 3 gigs from 11, 12, 13. And then when I hit full-time 2014, that's when my gigs started really going a little bit higher because I was hustling. I was working for them. I was going up with mics, doing all those other things. But those first 2 or 3 years, I was probably getting, I don't know, like 10 minutes about 4 or 5 times a year, you know? And so it was, and most of it was just silence. And then there'd be a couple bigger jokes that would have people rolling. I'm like, okay, there's something there, you know, but it wasn't like a comedy. It wasn't like a comedy place in LA, Chicago, Seattle, you know, where they get reps 4 or 5 times a night, every other night or every night, you know. But yeah, so I didn't catch my.
So how many minutes do you have now? Do you have an hour?
Yeah, I probably go about 1:15.
So, and you're pretty. You feel like that out? You're pretty comfortable with that hour?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Either I'm gonna be telling jokes from the ones that I've written down, or I might be just playing, you know, playing with the crowd a bit, then going and then transitioning into a joke, you know, like, oh, that reminds me of this joke, blah 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 blah, you know.
Yeah.
But I honestly... Oh, what? Huh?
Huh? What? My daughter came in to the living room yesterday and said, she said, Dad, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. And then I said, she said, you want to hear my routine? She said, I have one joke. I said, yeah. So she's 12, right? So she goes,
it's already funny.
She goes, I'm half white. And then she leans in and goes, ask me what the other half is. And I said, what's the other half? And she goes, also white.
What?
It's funny because she's not white at all.
I know.
Oh man.
So that was her joke. That's her first joke in her stand-up comedy career.
Nice.
And yeah, you would tell, and she would just end it with what you just said.
Yeah.
Because I'm not white at all. You know, I mean, boom.
I'm not white at all.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know why it was funny. Part of the joke too is like she tells you what to say. She's like, ask me what the other half is.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a good routine. She could do a whole set on that.
She's on to something.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So
yeah, I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, you go.
No.
This is your time, Kasey.
I got garbage. Let's go.
No, I was just gonna say, but I think when we were, I was gonna say something earlier about comedy and how it's I think really comes down to the psychological part of it. Like you can make anybody laugh with, like, let's say within our own circle, our cousins, our uncles or whatever. You can make them laugh because we already have a psychological connection. But when you go in front of a crowd that you don't know, the first thing you got to do is you got to make that psychological connection. Like, what's going to make me buy into you? That's so funny. So obviously that misdirection, like, the awkwardness. That's the psychological. Like, now I'm intrigued. Like, she's pretty awkward. Okay, ask me what else I am or whatever. That now you got me bought in psychologically. You're making my mind turn. You're not giving me the answer. You're actually making me think. So the one-liners, like Shandin was saying earlier, it's not making you think. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever, But if he added like little twists and turns or misdirection or something that we totally wouldn't even expect, then yeah,
that makes it funny.
But I think that's one of the biggest things with comedy is the psychological connection. Like you have to you're literally a mind. You're a magician. You're a mind game player. Kind of like you got to play the mind games with the crowd. It's crazy. It's weird.
Yeah.
You're a mind game player guy.
Yeah, I am.
Mind gamer.
You're a mind. So would you
mind
say
gamer
that
guys? Indian guys are good at playing mind games. They're really good at it.
That's like, another episode.
Oh, okay. You want to go there? Like they'll ask their old lady, "Why are you so mad?" But really, they're the one that's mad. Right?
Why are you mad?
Why are you so mad?
Man, I I use that all the time.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Wow.
That's
Mind
mine.
gamer.
Why are you mad?
Why are you so mad at me? You're the one really mad.
Well, nobody wants to lose an argument. So I don't know why. I don't know why this is now become acceptable. I'm gonna win.
You're right. You're right.
You're right. Yeah.
You're right.
Okay.
That's another one. You're right. You're right. Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're so
You're
perfect.
Right. You're always right.
Yeah. Mhm. Ultra passive aggressive. We do it. We can't help it either. We're so dumb.
We fall every time.
Every time. We just can't help it. Okay. This is what I
So
want.
now you care. So now you care? Dumb. So dumb.
So dumb. I'm so dumb.
I had
Anyway.
a question though for Kasey.
What?
Oh.
What?
I had a question for Kasey.
Oh, let's shoot, man. Do it.
It was a simple question. So
Okay.
in your early
It's stupid. It's a stupid question. But it's just it's me. I'm
No, I
stupid.
said it's a simple question.
Oh, okay. Calm down. Remember, men have high self-esteem. Casey said it. We have high self-esteems here. Okay. Just roll with it, man. You don't have to prove it.
Why are you
to me.
mad?
You don't have to prove it to me.
Shandin, why are you mad?
You don't have to prove to me that you think your question's stupid.
Yes.
Okay, go.
You were a counselor before. Did you feel like it was a fairly easy transition to go from a counselor to a comedian?
You're on mute, bro.
Yes, actually it was. You still on mute?
No, you're good now.
You're not muted.
Every time. I'm gonna get a shirt.
That's fake
that says
mute.
That.
He's doing
You're
a
on
fake mute right now.
Yeah, do a fake
You're
mute.
what do you call me? Don't call me that.
Call me fake. Remember, we have high self-esteem.
That's fake mute.
Just
That's a
work
fake
past
mute.
it.
That's a
Work
fake
past
mute.
it. Okay.
Transition wise, yeah, it was I think it was easy because of the psychological part of it. Because again, you're trying to make connection with that person across from you while you're counseling. You're trying to get to know them, where they come from, break down the barriers, the walls, to allow them to be themselves. And so I guess with the crowd, you'd want to break down those walls, psychologically say, hey, I want you to be yourself and I want you to laugh because I'm funny. I don't know, something like that. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So it was a relatively easy. I don't know if it was, you know what? Honestly, yeah, it was. I don't know. I think it was, but I think I've always wanted to be it. So I was already prepping myself through watching tons of obviously stand-up shows and obviously gathering some material from different scenarios in my profession, So
With no names, of course.
yeah, I mean, there's just some funny situations and scenarios that you can, roll off of. Like, dang, I never thought about it that way, and you kind of like, oh, okay, but then put that in the thought tank, and hopefully that you can use that someday.
So do you think though, just what you said, do you think that like Native, especially seems like practitioners of Native people, we like bank and we have ammunition. When you go around like traditional things, people like ammunition and they can't wait to like tell somebody like, hey, guess what this guy did, What did he, you know what I mean? Like, and they'll kind of knock you out and like, and everyone laughs at your expense for a little bit, then you might do that. So it seems like a natural process for a lot of Native people to bank, I guess, what you would call jokes, but really it's like ammunition to use against people. So did you feel like that was pretty natural for you anyway to like, because the way I imagine it, like any skill, you research a premise and that's the way I think people think of it. But I feel like Native comedians, because of their upbringing, they've learned to bank information like that, funny stories, and even like the teasing part of it, like you're banking stuff. Something tells me Jerry Seinfeld never teased people. You know what I mean? Like he, not in the same sense that like we did like. So he's like probably at the profession of stand up, probably the most like well thought out. Like he thinks out, you know, those high level guys. But did you feel like when you started banking? Obviously, when you started banking information, that started way before the stand up comedy.
Yep. And I think a lot of the banking part was actually I can relate to a lot of the stuff that I was banking. So, as whether it be, you know, the funny stories around camp or around a drum group or in the profession I was in, like, I think a lot of that honestly was being able to relate to those things and saying, how can I use that information that I'm banking and twist it or format it or make it seem like I'm going down this route and do a little twist to it to make it funny. Because I think that the comedian art form had to have been learned. Like that had to have been like the punchline, you know, the setup, the punchline, all that stuff. That had to be learned. I already had the information. I already had the relating part of the people that I was around with, so I can make people laugh if I could just relate to them. But now how do I set it up to not draw out this long story and lose them, but enough to where I'm like, okay, if I say this and I twist it like this, and I'm going to say something I never expected, but still where they're able to relate to it, you know. So like one of my first jokes was the spanking joke, you know, and how I related to the crowd was right away, you know. And we talked about at the beginning of this, we talked about the trauma and all that stuff. But I was like, how many of y'all got spanked? And again, this joke came out of freaking left field. I have none. I didn't have anything written down my first time ever going up on stage. Didn't have nothing. And I was like, you know, fumbling. And then all of a sudden, I said, man, I got spanked. I got spanked hard when I was a kid. How many guys used to get spanked? And people were like, oh, you know, like they clapped or whatever and raised their hand. And then as I'm telling the story, the joke's already being written before it gets to my mouth, right? So there it is. Here it comes. Okay, I used to get whipped by my mom's thong. That's what my mom would call the tool, the thong, right? And then my mind's already like, oh, there's my
shoe. Was it a slipper?
Yeah, it was a slipper, right? And so she's like, so I was like, I looked at this one woman. She reacted. I'm like, yes, I got her. And again, the joke's already formulating there. And again, I'm just telling the joke off the top of my head. Never wrote down. I'm just telling it off the top of my head. And I seen her react, and I said, "Oh no, not that kind of thong. It's not that thong where you pull it out of your ass crack and pull it back like you're gonna try. You know, that's why the joke naturally was just formulating for me because now I got them relating to me. I have a psychological connection with them. I'm talking about my trauma, so I can be really connected, I guess. I could be really I could be invested in this joke, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm playing it out. And a lot of people don't understand that the verbiage and the words and the fluctuation of the voice, and like it's got to be all going rhythmically connected together so that joke, when I come out at the very end, they're laughing. I got them rolling. Because if I stutter or if I go or a or or whatever kind of repetitive thing, I'm gonna lose them. You know what I mean? So it has to be this fluid story where I'm still connecting with them. I'm psychologically got them bought in.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna shorten the experience to where I never thought about it that way, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that joke kind of like just kind of almost unfolded how my style kind of came to be. Yeah. And it was from that. It was from honestly just being able to relate to the crowd, relate to the people that I was telling jokes to.
Yeah.
Again, and then honestly, my second time ever doing comedy was a bomb. Like I bombed, like hard. I wrote all my jokes down verbatim because that's what everybody said. Write your jokes down, know them, word for word, get it down, 5 minutes packed. All right, here we go on stage. First joke, boom, nothing. Second joke, nothing. Third joke, nothing, Fourth joke, fifth joke, I'm just like, okay, that's my time. And I walked off and I'm pretty sure I got the sympathy claps.
Oh no. Oh no.
But I didn't get, I'm pretty sure I got maybe a couple uncomfortable giggles, but they weren't real laughs. But I remember, yeah, But I remember walking away from that and saying, I don't ever want to feel that again. I remember that. I'm like, I don't ever. So I just went back to my first time, and then I just started kind of working on that. So my failure in that comedy stance was actually my rise, I guess you'd call it, because I didn't ever want to feel that again. It was a horrible. I mean, my aunties weren't laughing. People were kind of like looking.
Oh no!
It was bad. It was really bad. And because I was being too structured, and it wasn't flowy. It was just and
how was it?
And it should have been it should have been like that.
Oh no!
I think the first time I seen you do comedy was in Missoula, like long time ago.
Is that was Ryan Redcorn?
I seen you once do that.
Man, I don't know. It was like long time ago. It had to have been 20. Well,
yeah, it was 2010 or 11.
Yeah, it was early.
Long ago.
It was funny though. I laughed.
Yeah.
I think we went because of you. Like I went because of you, because I think you were like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this deal." So
yeah, and I thank you for that.
Instructing is sort of it's the same. It seems very similar the way you describe it. Providing instruction for students is like I employ a lot of humor, but I never think of the things that I'm gonna say. It's always just on the fly, Like you're always judging your audience. That's how I feel when I'm instructing. Is I'm always judging the students, see where they're at, and trying to relate what I'm teaching them to sort of how receptive they are to like sort of my life. So I bring little pieces of my life in that seem to be funny, and that really helps. I think that's the thing you described is very familiar, and I think that works not only in humor but in instruction, in anything that anyone does in front of a crowd. You got to know the crowd. It's like it reminds me of like bouncing a basketball. Once you get it dribbling, you kind of know the thing that's going to keep it moving. There's like these little cues that you can just say you already got them laughing, and it just takes just very little to prod them along to get them to go more. And if those things were said out of context, they would not be funny. But because you already got the ball bouncing, they just keep going.
Yeah, it does seem like comedy relies heavily on rhythm and like momentum. Like you build momentum with you. The difference though between instruction and stand-up, I think, is there's no expectation to be funny in instruction.
Yeah. You shouldn't be.
So you can fall back. There's always this fallback thing. It's extra.
It is.
and I think the thing about the expectation to be funny is why a lot of people don't dive into comedy or stand-up. And some people just don't want to, but I mean, there's some people that are really funny that could be. For example, there's a comedy workshop I did once where, laughter is healing kind of a workshop thing where I said, all right, hey guys, this is my intro, this is my motivation. But I said, hey, I was just, I told a funny story. I said, does anybody else got like a funny story that they want to share too? Like, man, the thing that happened to me this morning was, I couldn't believe it. It was funny. We had people rolling. I said, anybody else can, have a funny story like that? Sure. Like 2 or 3 people went up, had us rolling, just like, After that was over, I was like, and I kind of went on a little bit more about my comedy career. And then I was like, man, so, I'm going to give people an opportunity, to stand up and tell a few jokes, one-liners, knock jokes, anybody. And nobody stood up. Nobody's like, no way. I relayed it back to those 3 people that had us rolling. And I said, believe it or not, those 3 people that were telling us the story, you guys were literally doing comedy. Like that's what it is. Like you're taking us through a scenario. You hit us with a setup, a punchline, and we laughed. And you didn't even know what it was. And I explained to them what it was, And they were like, "Well, never thought about that." Like, but as soon as you asked us the anxiety or the vulnerability of getting up and actually telling jokes, and these people actually stood up. They stood up from their desk or their chairs.
Yeah.
and told these funny stories and had us rolling.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I think it really comes down to that connection, that not realizing like that expecting to be funny. You know?
I had this thing happen to me. Like, so instruction, like Aaron said, do not expect it to be funny. It does help, but I had this thing. I had this thing where I taught the same class, 2 different sections. One was just across the board students, anybody across campus. Then I taught a special section for Native students, and in that class, I could rely on so much relatable things, and when you're talking about that just now, it got me thinking about something that I could say in one class but I couldn't say in the other one. And in the Native class, I could talk about knits. I could talk about knits and lice and the shampoo. What's the shampoo called? The
Nix.
Nix. I could talk about Nix. But I don't know if that go off the same in front of the other class. So I was thinking, like, what is there things that you notice in your line of work, like if the crowd is mostly, and I don't know if you get crowds that are primarily non-native or not, and is there things that that it's not going to connect to them, like you can't talk about knits, or you can't talk about your uncle's diabetes toe that got cut off, that like people would be shocked, like, oh my god, why is he talking about that? But the native crowd, it'd be real funny. Is there something that you notice there that like there's a line that you have to draw that's different from the primarily native to the non-native crowd? And I don't know if you had those situations, but let me know.
No, I think I'd see it as a challenge to bring up our native humor with non-natives to see if our humor can be funny to them, and they are. Yeah. It is. I mean, I've won comedy competitions based off of our humor. You know what I mean? In front of
get it.
And the reason they get it is because how you set it up. Okay, knits right away, all the natives will laugh, but you have to set up. You have to set up and kind of
say it. That's funny.
I know, right? You have to kind of like set it up and twist it as a, you just have to set it up a different way, but you don't have to draw the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this one time, what?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, this one time I didn't have a comb for school, so I dug around but I found a knit comb.
What?
And I was like, oh, I got a knit comb.
That little tiny comb.
Yeah. So I was really combing my hair with the knit comb, and I noticed that, wow, this knit comb really makes my hair smooth. Like it aligns all the hair. I really like that.
Takes all my dandruff out.
Yeah. Good exfoliator.
You take your knit comb to school and just told on yourself.
This cool comb I have.
You want to use it?
One time I was on another reservation. I won't say where, but we were at a powwow, and these 2 kids. You see these 2 groups of kids running towards each other, like excited, right?
Yeah.
And they get close to each other and they meet up, and they're like little rezzers, And the one kid says to the other kid, says, "My mom said I can go play with you guys, but you can't give me bugs."
Right.
And then the kid says, "Okay." And then they take off. The whole group takes off running.
Okay.
Okay, deal.
Jeez. Poor kids.
I was like, oh man.
Okay, I want to tell you
I want to know, Kasey. Wait, Kasey.
Yeah.
I want to know what. I'm not talking about non-native people, but what give us an example of what premise or joke works around here, like in the Plains and Rockies, but won't work, like say with like tribes in California or something. Like you ever run into that where like something's working and then you go outside of that region, then it's, man, this doesn't seem to like fit. But I want to know about natives. I'm not
from native to natives.
Yeah. But just because there's this assumption that we're all the same, but that we're not, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a hard, like
I know. Well, maybe it's to help you.
Or has it not happened?
Well, there's one like you know, fry bread is a term, you know, in the States, and then bannock is the term in Canada. So, but I mean, people still get it when you say fry bread or bannock. Like is that kind of what you're talking about, Aaron?
I mean, I guess, but
but not that dumb.
That's why I said premise. Like,
well, we don't know.
No, I don't think. I mean, like the jokes that I've done and formed, like I guess formed or wrote, are pretty. If I feel like I'm losing them, I'll bring in something to hook them back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's say, I'm just trying to think of one that kind of where I had to push to kind of get them bought in. Would probably be one of the first jokes I guess I would do was sometimes I would war cry, and so like we war cry in Montana and people get that, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So one would be in the Seattle area. So they don't war cry. They have really deep voices, like the way they sing, right? Like and the way we sing is really, you know, high or roller voice. And so it's totally different. So I was telling a joke, but again, this joke, you know, on the fly as I'm telling it, I felt like I was losing them. I went right to like, you know, white women like this kind. But, you know, I mean, something like that, you know. White women like a screaming in Montana. I don't know how you women like here, you know, you like your man in bed going, oh, or do you
That's funny.
Yeah. So I felt I was losing them, and then I kind of diverted into like more of the women kind of like the women like it here. How does the women like it here? You know but I saved myself by doing that because I was losing them off my war cries. Like they weren't really into the war cries or the singing, like singing high.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that'd be an example.
Yeah, that answers my question.
That's a good example.
Yeah. But again, like some comedians they have their jokes written and they'll stay on their they'll stay on that line. They'll be like, okay, this is all I'm gonna say, this is how I'm gonna do it. No, okay, next joke. And some of them will like lose a crowd, but they'll just keep going through their jokes. You know what I mean?
It's like a record.
Yeah. And they'll just keep going, and then they have this little plateau, and they don't go up or down. They're just kind of it's there. And so for me, I feel like I've learned through the years, like, okay, if I'm losing a crowd, how can I get them bought back in? You know? Yeah. And I mean, fortunately enough, I think I've, you know, been able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, some banquet shows are tough because they're not there to laugh. They're there for the free food. They're there for the door prizes, you know?
Yeah.
So it could be tough.
Some of us are there to scoff at what's going on.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're not funny.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of the reason I go to conferences.
Yes.
Right.
This guy's a comedian. Wow.
Nobody likes the chicken.
I need help with this joke. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you the next part.
Oh, we're still doing it.
Yeah, the medicine man, the shaman, and the healer. Remember, they argued. I really need help with this, okay? Because I can't get the last part. Okay, so they all headed out into the woods. They're gonna find a mountain lion for a helper. That's how I'm gonna prove who's the best. So, then a few weeks later, they all met back up at the bar, you know. And so the medicine man comes in. He says, "Hey, I found a mountain lion down by the river, and I went up to him and I gave him my newly released book on the 7 sacred teachings, and now he comes to my house every night, and sweats with me in my co-ed sweat." So then the shaman says, "Oh yeah, well I saw a mountain lion up there in a clear cut, and I gave him one of my prayer kits that I sell on Amazon, you know, and he loved it so much. Now he comes to my drum circle we have down at the city park." So the shaman and the medicine man turned to the healer. I don't know what. What could you say?
Did you just make this?
I just made this up. I'm trying to think of something funny that they.
I think what's funny is how you changed your voice for the medicine man.
Oh yeah, well that medicine man, you know,
because it clearly was not your natural voice.
That's my medicine man voice.
I was like, whoa, Shandin just changed. He's vested. He's invested in this joke.
I did. I got invested in it because I wanted to challenge myself. I said, okay, let me see how hard this really is. How hard is it to make a joke? It's really hard to do, man. It's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a testament right there, because I thought, well, yeah, these are funny things. Yeah. Co-ed sweat, gave him my books, and now I'm sweating with a bunch of women and a mountain lion. That's kind of funny, I guess. I don't know. But it's not quite the punchline, right? The other guy, yeah, my pair of kits on Amazon. We're at the drum circle down at the park. The punchline, that's the hardest part. I don't know, I can't think of it. Anyway, that was a testament to sort of the work that you do, because like you said, it's really situational, right? Because you could probably draw inspiration from the crowd on what would be next, right? Even though you didn't have the joke locked in, you're just kind of going with it and you're feeding off the crowd. You see what's that, just like the joke you said about what white women like, you know, depending on the region you're at. That's you know, that's just classic funny stuff that Indians do all the time when we get together, right?
Right. Yeah.
We just go off on things and we just laugh.
Yeah. And
I think you should change the joke.
You should change the joke.
Change the joke.
I don't think it should be a shaman, a medicine man, or a healer. I think it should be someone with bipolar, someone with ADD, and someone with diabetes.
What?
And the challenge is the same, though.
Yeah, that'd be funny, right? Okay, so ADHD. What was the other one? What did you say? A diabetic
Bipolar.
and a bipolar person walk into a bar. Would they even argue though?
What?
Like, what was like?
Were they arguing?
Well, yeah. As soon as the diabetic sugar's down, they're arguing.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So they argue, and then they. Well, what do they do then? What is the argument about? Like, who's better at having a?
Who has the worst diagnosis?
Who has the worst diagnosis? Yeah, who has the worst diagnosis? So then they have to decide.
And
what?
There's one more caveat. They're all in denial of these things.
I don't have ADHD.
They're in denial.
Whatever I want. What's bipolar? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know.
It's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
This is what you did when Nakoa was on. You tried to get us to make a round dance song.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you're like, Aaron, I want you to freestyle with Nakoa, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Right? Okay, you figured me out, Aaron. You figured me out.
Like, I'm not crazy, man.
I know. Yeah, I was trying to get to that, you know, but
I think your joke, honestly, I think the joke would be more easier to write if you could relate to that. To relate to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what do you struggle with? What are you diagnosed with anything? You know, all those kind of things, like something that you can relate to, because then the joke forms itself. Because now you're able to relate to going to get a mountain lion. Like, what the fuck? You know, like,
wouldn't it be funny if it was the same person? If this joke was being told as if it's three people, and then the punchline is that it's the same person, bipolar, diabetic, and ADD.
Adding the dash of multiple personality in there.
I'm not far from that.
No, you got all three of those. Well, you're working on the diabetes, right?
I'm working on the diabetes.
Yeah, what do you got? What are you eating, man?
I'm still eating those rib. What are these called? burnt ends.
Burnt chips. That's got
burnt tips,
that's the sodium of sodiums right there. That's just a chunk of sodium, man.
You're just a chunk of sodium.
Don't be so salty.
Oh, and there we go.
There it is. So should I go back to the list of one-liners?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, that's the thing. Is like with comedy, you have to find your niche. Like, where are you a one-liner? Are you a storyteller?
Yeah.
Are you, like you just gotta keep writing and find out eventually. Like singing. Like some people are better at Southern than contemporary. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Agreed.
With the artists, look at Salisha. I mean, maybe she works better with watercolor than acrylic or oil. I don't know.
I know she's been painting this whole time.
I know.
And she only like turns to look at us to laugh every once in a while.
Yeah, I know.
I could tell when we're like off track because she'll turn and look at us and give us a frown. She gives that confused.
What are you talking
and
about?
It's mostly to Shandin too.
I know. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to hold this together.
You're the reason it fell apart.
I thought you were gonna ask. I thought you were gonna ask something else, but
What
was you gonna ask something different, or was it all about this joke?
No, I mean that was just like what do they call it? Self-defecating. I was just self-defecating on myself.
Oh no, deprecating.
It's not defecating.
I thought it smelled funny in here.
Defecate means something completely different.
What is that?
See, there's your joke right there.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was trying to have myself be the target of ridicule.
It was a clever ruse the whole time.
Because I'm not a joke writer. I don't write jokes.
That's pretty evident.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Writer of
No, I'm
jokes.
just kidding. It was a good idea. I think it's a good idea. We're just not comedians.
Now he's trying to build me back up.
Break you down.
That's
brought me
Indian
down.
humor.
No, you're okay, bro.
That's
It's
Indian
good.
humor.
You keep going.
It's Indian humor.
Yeah,
It's
you
Indian
keep
humor.
going.
Gotta knock you down, bro.
Don't.
Hey, why are you mad?
Why are you mad?
Why are you mad?
Why
Are you mad?
Don't let anybody tell you can't achieve your dreams, okay? I'm gonna write a joke that Kasey's gonna tell on stage. Starts now.
Okay. Let's
do it. Okay.
Send me a joke.
No, we're gonna do it right now.
Okay.
We're gonna do it right now. Okay.
Here we go.
So
Wait, well, do we gotta know anything to write a joke?
Yeah. So it's gotta be cutting edge. So new. We can't rely on the common tropes that we generally lean on.
Why not?
Well, I guess we can. Huh? Well, what's new? What's new and funny? What's new and funny today? I'll tell you something. New and funny. Well, no, because we already used them up, man. We joke about them all the time.
Nothing's new.
Nothing's new and funny. There's got to be.
Man,
something.
we joke about everything on this podcast. In fact, this is we have a comedian on our podcast, and this is the least funny episode.
I know.
This is a prime example of what Kasey was saying. It's forced. We're forcing it.
We're
ruining it.
We're ruining it. Okay.
Not ruining it.
No, we're not going to ruin it. We're
not ruining it.
You're just bombing.
We're just bombing. Okay. Here's something new and something funny. Like contemporary native things that's new and that we can make fun of. That's hard, ain't it?
Well, nothing's new. Feels
dude!
Wait,
what we can make fun of?
Yeah. Yeah, something new though, something that we haven't made fun of yet.
Oh Lord, what?
We've made fun of
within reason. Within reason.
You're not on mute, Salisha. You're not on mute.
With class.
What did not get made fun of yet?
We've made fun of Turtle Island. We've made fun of the medicine wheel.
Ribbon
skirts.
We've made fun of land acknowledgements.
We've made fun of we always make fun of conferences, native conferences.
Oh, conferences.
It's a pretty common one.
Those are like squarely in. Well, because we're
we could have everybody introduce themselves.
Introduce.
What about the AIM song?
A whole
the
time.
AIM song? No, we should steer clear of that. That's been done. That's been done.
Has it?
What?
He's AIM song. That's old. That's old news.
Something that's going on, fashion design.
We've made fun of that,
dude.
We hit that
fashion shows.
We've hit that.
Aaron Bryn's kryptonite.
Yeah. You want to get him on a you want to trigger Aaron? You talk about decolonization or native fashion shows. He goes off.
What about let's make fun of
cowboys?
What?
What?
Native dressing like cowboys.
Native dressing as cowboy. I think we talked about that, right?
I think we did.
I don't know.
We hit that a little. What was you gonna say, Aaron?
It's like an age.
It's like an
I
age
want to
thing.
make one thing that drives me crazy is when people change a letter in a word and they think it somehow redefines the word.
Like resolution?
Resolution?
No.
What'd you say?
Yeah, like resolution.
That's Kasey's thing.
Yeah. It says red.
No,
this is
the whole rematriate.
This is trademarked.
Rematriate.
Like rematriate. I still don't quite understand.
Oh, okay.
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 What about it?
Yeah.
What the hell does it mean? Why is it different than repatriate?
What is patriate? Oh, to bring back? Oh, wait, what? And why is it?
Well,
why is it? What?
So rematriate is like an indigenous women-led work to restore sacred relationships between indigenous people and the land. That's what it is. What? Yeah,
what?
that's what.
I mean, is it?
I just Googled it.
Oh, it's about Mother Earth? Oh, that's what Google says?
Yeah. Rematriate is a concept used by indigenous women to describe the practice of restoring relationship between indigenous people and their ancestral lands.
So it has no relevance to repatriate?
So is it not the same as repatriate?
I don't know. What's repatriate?
Something to do with museums, right?
Yeah.
Well, like the Repatriation Act, but I mean, is that how they're using the word?
I don't think so. Repatriate is
to the land. To the land.
Returning of a thing or person to its country of origin.
Do we have an issue with this?
Yeah. Do we want to do this
with rematriate?
I mean, I don't even really know what it means, to be honest, but I hear it all the time. And I'm like, because we have to use the word repatriation for work all the time. So when I hear people say rematriate, is that just the reassigning of that word? Or like, I don't get it. I don't understand it because the way they're using it.
Yeah.
It's never been clearly defined. So I don't even know if it's the same or if it is the same and they're just like, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe I don't even know enough about it to make fun of it. So.
Yeah, I think you don't. I don't think you know.
Maybe we should wait to make fun of it.
I'm gonna learn about it and then I'm gonna make fun of it. Let's make fun of I don't know more. Let's make fun of I don't know more.
What?
That's old, man.
I don't remember this. I don't know more.
That's old. Yeah. That's way old.
Oh, is this when they would go?
Know why it just kind of died? Like it just died.
What died?
That movement, that whole I know movement. Remember, it was like hot, and then boom, it like and it's like summer came, and everyone had something to do.
Yeah.
They were tired. They were tired of idling. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They needed to move on. I don't know more. They literally were doing what they wanted to do and moved on from that.
It just died. Do you remember it? Or am I way in left field?
Yeah, I was there. I was like this in front of the sign.
I was there.
I was there in the mall singing that round dance song.
Flash mob.
I flash mobbed at least twice. I was there.
Flash mobbed at least twice.
Yeah. Higgins, you flash mobs the bridge.
I liked how people thought they had to sneak their hand drum into the mall so nobody'd see it, you know?
Sure.
Then just all of a sudden busted out, you know? It was like
there's 200 Indian people walking into the mall with
Round
Yeah.
with hand drums under their shirts.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
And just a regular old Indian.
I'm just here.
I don't have a hand drum.
What's my
You have a
hand
hand
drum?
drum.
I'm just here to get some Cinnabon.
Yeah.
Just here for pretzel,
I'm not here to sing
Pretzel.
by the fountain.
Don't take your hand drum. Don't take your sacred hand drum into Victoria's Secret, please.
Just me about to pray
Just me.
over something weird.
Nothing to see here, guys.
Okay, that's clearly been yeah, I don't know, that's a tough one. There's a lot of well, the one I was talking about the other day, that's sort of new, this idea of extinction and how I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Get out of there.
We don't want to do that again. We don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm counting on Salisha and Aaron to think of something, and Kasey to think of something.
I don't think we.
What?
Yeah,
That's a lot of pressure, man.
well, I know.
But see, that's the
We
thing.
should have done this at the beginning. We're going on an hour, Kasey, I'm sure.
I know. Well, this
Maybe
is
we just need to do a list of things.
okay. List of things. List of things.
What's off limits? Let's say that.
Oh yeah, off limit. That's a good one.
Was
Yeah.
there stuff that was off limits?
For me,
Yeah.
there's very little that's off limits.
Yeah, that's
For
yeah,
Shandin and the
Yeah.
University of BC, there's a lot.
there's some limits. Yeah. How about you could be rezzed out if
Oh yeah.
maybe, I don't know. What do you think? That's old, right? That's just relying on some classic. I like the one that we did, but we couldn't get Aaron to engage because he was just, I don't know, his blood sugar was off. Remember, places not to smudge, and he just was wondering what is going on with you two, and we were going off on places that you shouldn't smudge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember this conversation at all.
Inappropriate places to smudge.
Yeah.
Was it on the podcast?
Yeah, we did a whole bit on it, and I think your blood
Kasey,
sugar
were
was
you
so
on the-
low you were in a coma or something.
I was
Yeah.
on it.
Have you been on the podcast before?
This is my
Kasey
first
wasn't
time.
on. Kasey wasn't on. It was I
Or
and
second
Salisha.
time. First, I can't remember.
First time.
Is it the first time?
Yeah,
Man, for some reason I thought you were on before.
we talked about it,
Yeah.
but 60
Maybe.
episodes later, I'm on.
Yeah. How about places you shouldn't fast?
Fast.
Places you shouldn't try to get a vision. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
At the bar?
At the bar. Yeah.
So bar play.
At
No,
a
wait, let's see,
four-way
let's see.
stop. People are gonna honk at you.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, that didn't work.
It's so hard.
You remember that monk that sat in that square and they set him on fire?
What?
God, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That might be off limits.
Exactly where my mind went when you said that.
Oh yeah.
When you said fast at a four-way stop, my brain went straight to a Tibetan monk on fire.
Oh man. I don't know, man. I'm coming up with the blank here. Things you shouldn't wear to the native conference. No, I don't work.
Maybe-
Those are all just it's like
It's the variant of what we already talked about, right?
you can get into like real cliche stuff pretty fast.
Yeah. Let's see. How about things you shouldn't post on Facebook?
Mhm.
No, it's cliche, right? Is
Things
it?
you can post on Facebook?
How about appropriate places to wear a button-up shirt?
What about you know, a large portion of these cavalrymen who came over and fought in the plains were Irish?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that, but yeah.
Is it funny to think that always thought it was funny? How would an Irish guy die? By an Indian?
How would an Irish guy die?
How do you scream in an Irish accent?
I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I know that's not right.
No.
No.
I
You
mean,
got me, laddie. I don't know.
Oh,
I see the rainbow now. I see the rainbow.
Oh, shite.
See that rainbow.
It's messed up because you didn't talk about people dying, but I always thought it's such a unique accent.
Yeah.
How do you die Irish?
He's got himself going.
Well, I mean, that could go to everything. How do you die? I mean, stereotypically too, like anything. How do you die Australian? Like
yeah.
I mean, you could, but Irish? I want to know how you die Irish.
I just don't kill.
I don't know a lot of Irish things. I don't know, man. We're running out here. Salisha's thinking of something. I know she is.
She stopped painting to think.
She's on mute though, so she's trying to tell us something. She's not.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose. I was thinking. I always see this guy wearing a cowboy hat when I go to work.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of people who wear chokers for some reason.
Okay.
I thought, man, you can just wear chokers anywhere. Like, there's nowhere you couldn't wear a choker. Because I don't think there's anywhere you couldn't wear a cowboy hat.
So when is not appropriate to wear a choker?
I think you could just wear a choker anywhere.
I think if you're getting a massage, you should take it off because they might want to work on your neck. Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. For some reason, the choker does not match the massage table.
Yeah, I just gotta get that off. Yeah. Or do they make you take a choker off when you're going through TSA? Have you ever tried it?
I don't think so.
Kasey, ever wear your choker through TSA?
No.
You always take it off. You always put it in.
Well, make sure it's made of plastic, not real.
You can't use shell casings.
Yeah,
through TSA, shell casing chokers. Yeah.
Oh, the shell! I haven't seen one of them in a long time.
I know. Yeah, that's like
223
chokers. And why chokers? Why? What's the reason for chokers?
What does it even mean? The shell casings on the chokers.
What is it? I mean, how old are chokers?
That's a good question.
Were they just made or were they just adornments, or were they actually?
Aren't they really old? Aren't they really old?
I think one of the.
I've never seen an old picture of crows with
choker
wearing chokers.
I've seen a lot of
loop necklaces.
I see a lot of crows with chokers. Old pictures. You look again, Mr. TRP. What are you? What is it?
What
are you? TRP report?
You terp?
What is terp? Tribal Resource Protection. What are you do? What do you do?
Officer?
What is it called?
Man, I don't know. We've done 60 episodes together. We've done 60 episodes together.
Your TRP report.
He doesn't know what my job title is.
I just forgot it. I forgot it. Tribal history. Oh yeah, Tippo.
TRP.
You're the Tippo guy, man. I'm gonna Google one picture of a old. Yeah. Yeah. They all. This is what I heard, or this is what I knew, at least from when I was a kid. Right. When I was a kid, the choker was to protect the warrior from getting his throat cut. You probably heard that, right?
No, I've never heard it.
That's what I went to that. Of course, it's probably not true, but was the deal.
I've never seen an old picture.
I know you were talking.
What, Salisha?
Oh, I was just trying to remember what you were saying in the beginning.
Oh, yeah. So I went through just some common things like, we laugh and we're humorous because we're working through our trauma. False, but partially, right? We agreed on that, right? Did we?
No, I think that's a fact that Native people deal with hardship. Let's say hardship with humor.
We do.
But I really like, if we get anything out of this podcast today, it's what Kasey said, that there's for as much as we do that, it's equal that we also have the other side of that. I can't remember exactly what you said.
Yeah, just you got you have your whole spillover of trauma, but you also have all the survival or the living or like the good stuff.
Yeah.
The positive energy, I guess. You got as much as you have the negative, you have the positive,
Yeah.
Heal or to be better, or the resources or the tools that have been passed down as well. That a lot of people don't, take around. Like Aaron said earlier, is like that we stay in it's almost encouraged, or a big flex, as some people say, to say I'm traumatized. Why can't you say I'm healing, or I'm healed, or I'm happy, I'm enjoying life? I like I have these things passed on within me as well to
Epigenetics.
Yeah, epigenetics. This one makes it his own words. Epigenetics.
And furthermore, oh, go ahead. Aaron looks like he's gotten something.
I was going to say something, but now it has passed.
Okay. So the next thing okay, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I don't try to make the joke work.
I'm not. I'm just recapping. Go. The joke's done.
Recap.
The recap. And then we dispelled the myth that natives use humor to test whether someone is native or not. False, right?
I think false. I think we definitely use humor to test if someone's cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think that has anything to do with like their nativeness.
Yeah. And it's difficult also to capture the essence of native humor via writing. However, I would say there's some really good books out there. Books, though, because these are stories, right? That are pretty funny from native authors. But because it's a story. But it's hard to just do one-liners or like on the fly funny in writing. Like to analyze native humor in an academic journal, probably a bit hard to do. Seems like.
Well, it would have to be done by a native person.
Yeah. What was you going to say?
I was going to say another thing I think would be really interesting to like, weed out of the podcast too, is like the differences between male and female humor.
Yeah.
Like what's the understanding of those things as well. Like the power, I guess, or the comedy structure or the setup. Because I know some jokes of mine make more of the women laugh hard.
Yeah.
And then some of the other ones will make more of the men laugh hard. But when I make I'm not joking. When I make some of the women laugh harder, like laugh hard, the men quiet down, which is weird.
You're making them jealous.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean,
can't be making people's wives laugh, Kasey.
Yeah, that's
that's something I noticed. But then I'll point it out too, though. At the same time,
you still do that thing where you take your shirt off and and you do something with your.
Oh, that's on my OnlyFans.
I don't know if you are. We'll put that in the show notes. Your OnlyFans. Send that over to me.
Okay,
we'll get you some subscribers.
Kasey Nicholson at OnlyFans.
Wow. Oh no,
Kasey Nicholson. Yeah.
But I mean, that honestly, coming back to that, honestly, be something to like explore too, like if you guys ever had a native or a female native comedian come on too, like the different perspectives, how jokes are brought up and where they come from, and it's quite the different perspective, just a different style, I guess you'd say, on how they view humor.
Yeah,
we'll do this again, and Shandin's gonna try to get him with that joke again.
Yeah,
a shaman, a healer,
and
a medicine
healer and a medicine man. We're gonna get that down.
Who needed to go get a bipolar?
Oh yeah, bipolar,
ADHD, and
diabetic
cougar.
You gotta marry one, kill one, and
oh man. But I think in the end, I think we we discover what we already really know is that, I mean, you as a professional in comedy, you work at a different level of understanding the crowd, right? Because you work with a large crowd, and the diversity of people in that crowd, they could be somewhat homogenous, but they could be pretty heterogeneous, if you will. But like for the everyday guy and the everyday Indian gal, you know, we work in, we laugh in like a tight community of people that we're familiar with, or that we can share some common understandings. Like knits, you say knits and people laugh. You say speaker wire and people laugh. Maybe not these days, like kids don't understand the struggle of what you had to do to fix things and how handy speaker wire was. So these days, like the generation today don't understand that speaker wire or pop can to fix your muffler. They're like, I don't understand any of that. So really, like the native comedian has to really, it seems to me, has to navigate all those things, plus the generational differences of what's funny and what's not. That's super challenging. And I see that in some of the work that I do. The students I see, their age, they have a different level of need of what they think is funny, what they think is interesting, and how you ought to deliver that to them. But you know, it's something that we can't capture, and that's one of the problems with academics and with putting things in a paper. It's really hard to capture that and make it authentic and true, and it can really skew what that is, and it can really generate the wrong idea about how we operate in our communities, and how we function with humor across different generations. So that, I mean, that's kind of the message I was trying to get across, the things I was trying to discuss, those challenges, and how it really is. Now, I think everyone here was a bit shy. I was the only one who put myself out there, self-defecating.
God dang, man.
God dang.
That's pretty tough.
Yeah. So I don't know. You tell me some last parting words of kind of the work, the intersection of what you do, and how you try to maintain some sort of authenticity that's representative of you and the community and the people that you grew up with.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part of that is being, like you said, authentic, being genuine, not being over, like not being too over the top, where you're like, right, you feel like you're trying too hard to make people laugh or to like you because of your own struggles, your own traumas, your own internal, battles that you're having within yourself, trying to heal yourself by trying too hard. Like be authentic, be real, be genuine as a comedian, as a native comedian, and be okay with drawing stories from the uncles, or the family, or the cousins, or the powwow circle, or whatever it may be. Like pull in that and share it. In my opinion, share it not with only the native people, but for the non-native community that's out there, because they have to learn from those books that are being very stereotypically written about us, those one-liner jokes. Like that's where they get their information, and no one's going to know about our humor, or the way we laugh, or the way we talk, or the way we tease, by reading books. We as native comedians have to go out there and tell our story, through our stories, through our jokes. And that's the way I feel I'm doing, is like I'm going into these non-native crowds and I'm giving them a good dose of how they think about us, how they view us, and I'm turning it around where it's not only a funny joke, but it's a lesson. Like, you guys really think we want to be, we scream around and we war cry around, you know what I mean? So here, this is what you think about, but on the other side, this is who we really are. Welcome to our land. This is the struggles we have. This I'm human being. I have the same struggles as you, as you, whatever you may be, whether it be economic, social, spiritual, whatever it may be. But really trying to, I feel as a native comedian that not only am I trying to make people laugh, but also tell a story and to teach. So they're like, hey, do they really, make that make it very thought provoking, And And I hope one day, you know, that some of us comedians or producers or camera people can get together and actually do a really good documentary of Native humor on camera. You
That'd be awesome.
You know, where you see comedians on stage doing their thing, but also you see the really tight knit circle of real, like, you know, like everyday comedians, you know, our teasing uncles, our clans, or, you know, women, you know, teasing around in a circle about their exes. You know, I mean, who knows? You know, it could go everywhere with it. And it'll only probably be an hour and a half, 2-hour documentary, but it'd be so beneficial to so many, even our own people, you know.
Yeah.
About the art of comedy, you know, about the art of humor, I guess you'd call it. But yeah.
Whoa, you have spoken. Yes.
Okay.
Where the sun now stands.
Here and forever, for where the sun never stands, I shall speak no more. Okay. Awesome, man. Yeah, we're gonna have you back. Maybe even the next episode, so you can finish that joke for me, so you can use it on stage. And you can tell him it was my joke. That
I use some of it.
You can cite me. I could use some citations.
All we ask is you make it funny.
I think it not being funny is funny.
I know this guy tried to tell me this joke.
Yeah. No? Okay.
Our only ask is that you make it funny.
Awesome, man. Well, I think that should wrap it